Hey guys, can everybody hear me? I don't think there's anybody here, but if you can hear me, or when anybody comes in, please let me know what the sound is like, because I don't really know. All right, gang. Let me start by saying that this is going to be a little bit of a different playthrough. I hope this is coming through okay. Let's see. So are we making sound here? Yeah, we are making sound. According to OBS, we are making sound. Let's hope that's true. This is going to be a little bit different of a playthrough than what we would normally have. Normally, my playthroughs, when we do... Can you guys see? This doesn't seem like it's working right. I hope you guys can hang on a second. I wonder if I've got this. Let me just take a look at the. I bet you the thing is wrong. Settings. Well, it seems like it's all right. Okay. So normally with my games, the game is kind of primary thing that we do. And hey, Tag, how you doing? Good. So the sound is okay. Good. So normally the game is the primary thing. The chat is the secondary thing, right? That's kind of the way it always goes. The commentary is important to me, but primarily what we're there for is the gameplay. This is going to be kind of the other way around. So this is really meant for the chat being the primary thing, or the commentary being the primary thing, and the gameplay being kind of secondary to that. So it may be a little bit different than what you're used to on my channel. So we're really here because I want to chat with you guys. I want to see, or give you guys a chance to interact with me a little bit more than we can just through like the commentary sections, the comments sections. Even though I know you guys are still stuck to text. I wish there was a way you guys could actually talk with me, but I understand why they can't do that. So I have my coffee here. I hope you guys can't hear me drinking it, but we're going to play Power Wash Simulator. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. It's super brainless, but it's super satisfying at the same time. So hopefully it's a good game for us to work on. Let's go ahead. Actually, we'll just go ahead and start. So I reset. I have played this before a little bit. Got a few levels into it, but I've reset everything now. We're all back to the very start. There's no collectibles or anything like that. It's just it's as mindless as it can be. But recovery day, yeah, awesome. Perfect for a recovery day. Yeah. Sometimes you need those days, for sure. I don't do that so much anymore, but I remember those days when I used to. Now I'm limited to like some wine on the weekends. That's about all I do anymore. All right. Let's just read this just to see it. Great news. Finally found a van for you at the auctions under your budget. Don't freak out when you see it. It looks like it's just been dredged from the bottom of a lake, but that's a good thing. It meant no one else bid on it. They missed out. Underneath that hideous layer of gunk is your perfect workhorse. Engine's a dream, no rust. There's even equipment in the back. Just needs a good hosing down and you're in business. You'll certainly earn your pressure washing stripes getting this thing clean. So we're going to make $150 on this. These are all the parts we're going to be cleaning. We have no messages yet, so let's go ahead and get in there. I'm playing on keyboard and mouse, which is something I never ever do anymore. But I think I found with this game, as I remember, it's better to use keyboard mouse. I did play just the other day, just a little bit, actually just to get the screenshot that I hope you guys saw. So, and to familiarize myself with the controls, but let's see. So I've got this set up in windowed mode so that we can just easily escape out of here, and I can change, like, you know, I can bring stuff over if you guys want to see something. I don't know what you would want to see, but if there's something we need to bring over, we can. So we're not stuck in the game like we would normally be. Yeah, plus it was a bit of a belated birthday, so okay. Oh, shots. Oh. Yeah. That's definitely out of my realm anymore. About, oh gosh, when was it? It was in June. I did some scotch, kind of in honor of a birthday, and yeah, it wasn't shots, but I'm just not a hard alcohol drinker anymore. I just am not. I don't even really drink beer because not because I wouldn't. It just I prefer wine if I'm going to get anything. Hard alcohol. I mean, every once in a while I'll do margaritas, right? So tequila. That's fine. You know, mixed drinks are all right, but straight up hard alcohol, I just can't even do it anymore. Okay, let's close that out. Okay, there's our van. Very cool. So the purpose is just to clean the van. We're getting some tutorial stuff. You can rotate the nozzle. Hey, we just cleaned our first part, which was the lens of the whatever that is. I think it says the indicator. There it is. 2 to switch nozzles. So, okay, yeah, if you hold down the 2, you can go to a different nozzle. So, let's see, how does that work? Yeah, okay, it did it. I actually don't really use that. I use the mouse wheel to do that. So, that's fine. So yeah, the control button lets you duck and get down on the ground. So very cool. Space is a jump. Yep. Is the game audio too loud? Okay, hang on. Let's see. Let's go to options. Audio, there it is. Alright, let's tune the master volume down a bit. Let's go like 50%. Let's try that. Let me know how that sounds. Close tab. Sounds kind of quiet to me now, but I can turn my side up. Is that better? Okay, cool. Okay, let's apparently we bought a van pre-done with a logo on it. That's pretty convenient. What are the odds? Look, I've made $3. So yeah. If you guys... Do I have a counter here somewhere? Hang on a second. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay, I see it. If you guys have questions or comments, you know, go ahead and shoot. That's what this is for. It's not really meant for playing the game so much as it is to answer questions or talk about whatever. I would like to kind of go over the games that we're going through right now. Just take maybe a little bit of a deep dive into what's going on with all of our games right now. At some point. There's no rush. We're here for a little while, so... Let's see. There you are. Yellow. Get the side of this van done. I will say, guys, I was planning on starting about an hour ago, or an hour earlier than we did, but I had over a 2-hour session with Lego today. It is by far the single most frustrating episode I've ever had of Clone Wars to date. We'll talk about it, but okay, yeah, C, yeah. So the C button lets you move the thingy around, and if you hold it, if you toggle it back, it locks it in the middle of the screen. I tend to like, I think, having it in the middle of the screen. I rarely use the C thing, but I think I will from time to time. But yeah, gosh, Lego this morning, oh my god. Sometimes I wonder if they were, when they were making that game, if they were like, how can we make this as difficult as possible? And not difficult in, like, you know, God of War or Valkyrie difficult, but like, I don't know, what's the just not really explaining to you what you're meant to be doing sort of difficult. So you don't really know what you're supposed to have happen, or yeah, I'll talk about it later. We'll go over it. Like I said, we're going to go over the games. Get that grill. Oh, it wants me to do the tablet thing. Okay, let's get through the tutorials. Okay, there's your inventory. So nozzle, cleaning liquids, extensions. This is the power washer that we have. So also clothing. We have our outfit and our gloves. So yeah, all kinds of good stuff. There we go. So the grill still's got some stuff on it. What's going on? Oh, I see ya. There you go. Apparently, I'm paying myself because this is my van, and I'm making money off of it, which actually, I suppose, shouldn't be surprising. I guess that's how business works, right? The owner actually works for the business, and he pays himself out of the business money. I don't know. I'm not a business owner, but I'm given to understand that's how it works. So I suppose that's not totally out of the line, right? Okay, let's go to a smaller nozzle. There we go. Cool. Here. So yeah, this game is it's pretty satisfying. Cleaning these things off. It's kind of fun. Oh, it's stuck on the stool. Hang on. Let's move that out of the way. So yeah, let's talk about the games for a minute. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. So I would like to have a discussion about what's going on with all of our games. Just whatever pops into my head, I suppose. Ding ding. Nice. So we'll go through them in order. So let's talk about God of War for just a second. God of War Ragnarok is what we're currently playing. I have determined there's not really a completion percentage with that game. There's like a completion percentage for each of the individual realms, but there's not an overall completion percentage. So it can be a little hard to tell how far you are through the game. What I like to do in cases like that sometimes is I will find a creator that's already done the game. They've finished it. Hopefully one who's reasonably close to a completionist, although that's not absolutely necessary. There aren't very many of them, so it's not like not like I have a lot of choice in that matter, but I found a few that are maybe not completionists so much, but are close. They'll get as close as they can. Oh, we got a message. Hang on. There's a removals van outside my nightmare neighbor's place. They're finally going. Whoever moves in there is going to need a quality pressure washer. Okay, cool. Hang on. Let me see the... Did I miss messages? Let's see the messages. Nope, that was the first one. Okay. So yeah, I like to find a creator that's already done the game. And then what I'll do is I'll look through their playlist and I'll find where I am in their playlist. So, I don't know, say they've done 30 videos to do the whole game. And then I'll look through and I'll just find where I am in their playthrough. So say I'm on their video number 10. So that tells me that I'm about a third of the way through the game. And that is in fact the case with God of War. I found a particular creator who did it in 29 episodes. That included the DLC. Their episodes, I think, were about 2 hours a piece. 2 or 3 hours a piece, something like that. 2 to 3 hours. And I'm on their episode like 9.5 as far as where I am in the game. So yeah, we're about a third of the way through that game based on that. And I usually use a couple of different creators to do that. I am careful not to go past where I am, so to avoid spoilers. So I don't want to go, further along than where I'm at. What is that? Why is there a plate on the ground? What is that? I don't know what that's meant to be. So yeah, I think we're roughly a third of the way through that game. At least as far as where I am. You guys are a couple episodes behind me now because I just recorded this weekend. So there's 2 episodes you haven't seen yet. But yeah, where I am right now, about a third. It's fairly close. And I'll usually use, like I said, a couple of different creators to do that, and it usually comes pretty close. It's pretty close to they agree with each other. You gonna go with that business name, or do you need me to think some up? I'm phenomenal. I thought up Grouting Thomas for that Tyler, and she never looked back. On reflection, Bonnie Tyler might have been a better fit. Bonnie Tyler, sure. So yeah, that's where we are in God of War. Although I think there's going to be some backtracking in that game for sure. There's some stuff that we, it's very Metrovania in that there's some stuff we're going to have to go back that we didn't have access to, all the tools we needed, completely finish the areas we were in. Alfheim, for instance, there was some stuff that we couldn't do while we were there. And it's the same with Vanaheim. There you go. Look at that. We've already got our to-do list, so we just need the body. So, oh yeah. The top is probably... I'm going to get that stool. Yeah. So far, I'm quite enjoying that story. The story's pretty good. I haven't gotten to a point yet where how do I say this? So I told you guys in that game I had played it before on my own when it came out, whatever that was, like 2020, 2021. So 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4. Let's see, it's 2025, so that'd be 4 years ago. So I still haven't gotten to where I left off. I think I was in Hell when I left off. They call it Helheim. That's actually inaccurate. It's not. That's Heim in Norwegian. Is that what it is? It's I'm drawing a blank here, guys. The mythology that we're in, Norse mythology. Yeah, there you go. In Norse mythology, or in that language, Heim means home, right? So it's not really supposed to be Helheim, because hell is not a home. It's just supposed to be hell. But I guess the developers, they wanted to be consistent. I get that. There's our gnome. Let's go put him over here. We'll see him from time to time. Oh, he fell over. Come here, you. Stand back up. Oh well. We tried. I wonder if I can turn him. Can I turn him? No, I don't think I can. I don't see any way to do it. Yeah. Oh well. Okay, well there you go. There's our van. All clean, and I made $150 off of myself. Woohoo! Very nice, very nice. So let's see. We have to hit escape to finish off, and then we're going to get a review of what we did. I saw they're actually coming out with a sequel to this game. Power Wash Simulator 2. I have no idea. Van looks fantastic. Told you it would be fine under the grime. I've pinged you the $100 left over from what you gave me, so that should help get you off the ground. Also, I just met my new neighbor over the fence, grumbling about his dirty backyard, and told him to give you a shout. Looks like you got your first customer. Very nice. All right, there you go. There's the details, so you guys can check it out, and the messages that we got. And very nice. Okay, continue. Clean the back garden. All right, we got a new job. You've got to carry the gnome all the way to the rock. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's see what we got here. Hey, Doc, I hope you like a challenge, because I'm pretty sure I've got the dirtiest backyard you've ever seen. That's not me bragging, by the way. I had nothing to do with it. I've just moved back to town for a bit to help my folks, who are both down to their last knee, and rented what I thought was a great little place. I should have questioned why there weren't any garden pics in the ad. They must have bred rhinos in here or something. Anyway, my girls are itching to get out there, and I don't want them still itching when they get back inside. So please do your thing. Thanks a lot, Cal. Okay, we're going to make $450 on this one. Nice. Let's go ahead and start. Continue. Okay, very nice. I have seen this level before, but there you go. There's an overview. We got the porch, the doghouse. Oh, look at the poor doghouse. We got this little pond thingy. We got the barbecue and the birdhouse, and they've got a shed, a little couch. So there you go. There's a cat up there. That is hilarious. Okay. All right. Let's get. What should we start with? Let's start with the doghouse, because poor dog. Oh, we got a message. Funnily enough, my first girlfriend, Florine Perez, used to live here back in the day. Those were good times. Okay. Ding. Look at that. We made our first dollar. Nice. Got the water bowl clean. Dog can drink out of the water bowl. So, yeah, like I was saying, so I haven't reached the point yet where I haven't seen the game. But if you guys have followed me at all, you know I have like a terrible memory for games and stuff. So even though I've seen it, that doesn't mean I really remember it too much. I mean, it was, what, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was that I played it. I think. I could be wrong about that. I could look at my old save games. But, like, I remember bits and pieces. I'm not saying I'm totally in the dark. But that looks all right, I think. Hey, I saw that. Yeah, I'll eventually reach a point where I haven't seen the game. I'm not quite sure what point that will be, whether it's like the 50% mark. I don't know when you go to hell. I don't actually honestly know. So we'll see. I'm sure it'll come back to me when I see it. But hey, the doghouse is done. Very nice. There's much better. Yeah. Whew. Those stones. Let's get these stones done. Let's see. Maybe I will use this. I don't know if I like that. A little hard to control. Yeah, it's a little hard. It's a little tricky. I don't think I like that. I don't know. I'd rather would do this. Oh, look how much nicer those stones look. This game is super satisfying. I don't know. Those little dings are just a total dopamine rush. Which I know, yeah, that's the whole purpose, right? That's why it was kind of a hit. There we go. Nice. Sweet. Okay, we're 3% cleaned. Oof. All right. A ways to go. I don't know if I have anything else to say about God of War. As far as main story bosses, we've got about half of them done now from the main story. I have a list of them. But there's a lot of bosses that are optional bosses that we haven't even started yet. For whatever reason, they don't start them with the optional bosses for a while. So there's a bunch of those that we haven't even begun yet. There's probably more optional bosses than there are story bosses in the game, from what I remember from my list. Oh, nice. Fence gate done. Look at how nice that looks. I do say so myself. All right, let's get this fence. Hang on just a second here, guys. Let me take a look. I think I have my spreadsheet up. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I know that the next game I'm going to play is. I think I know, but I'm not going to. The thing is, I really can't tell you guys. For anybody who doesn't know, I generally won't talk about upcoming IPs if they're in a different, a different series than what I'm already playing. And that's not because I'm trying to be mysterious or anything like that. It's just because if I end up not playing it for whatever reason, and sometimes that happens, like some other game will catch my interest before we get to that game, I don't want to piss anybody off. So, if, you might get really excited that I'm going to play game X after I finish the game that I'm playing, and then suddenly I don't play that game, and then, I know that would irritate me if I was watching somebody play something and they were like, oh yeah, the next game on our list is going to be this, and I'm like, oh yay. And then they don't play it, and I'd be like, dude, what the hell? So that's the reason why I don't really talk about upcoming IPs. I think I know what it's going to be, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But we'll see. So let's go on to the Saboteur. Let's talk about the Saboteur. I don't know if I knew this. I might have known it. I know it was done by Pandemic Studios, which made some pretty damn awesome games. But what I didn't realize maybe was this was the last game they ever did, the Saboteur. In fact, they were shut down by EA before the game even released. Like, they had finished the game, and then, like, in that window between after finishing it and before it came out, EA shut them down. Just kind of sucky. That's mean. It's like you finish the game and you're like, yay, and then, oh, by the way, you don't have a job. I don't know. I guess that's a double-edged sword, selling your, or not selling, but subsidizing your studio to a big company like EA. Because, you know, at that point, they had control of the money, and they can shut you down at any point. But then you also have resources that you wouldn't have as a small company. So I get it. I understand why they would do it, or why they would sell themselves to EA in the first place, so that they, you know, because you don't want to constantly be like on the verge of having to shut down because you don't have, small studios aren't going to have a ton of money, and it's like a 3-year development cycle, and they've got to like eat all that cost for 3 years before they have any more income. So that's got to be hard. I can understand why they do it. I think the only company I know of that really didn't sell to somebody else was Rockstar, right? Isn't Rockstar still independent? Or are they under somebody else? I kind of want to say they're under Take-Two, or is that just their publishing company? I don't remember. I'm probably out of date on that. Yeah, for sure. EA's kind of... they're ruthless. You know, if you don't have a major hit every time you release, yeah. Does EA do their own games anymore? Or are they just a publishing company now? They used to do their own games. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, Saboteur was the final game that Pandemic Studio ever did. It's a really good game. It's a shame that it kind of flew under the radar of a lot of people because it's actually pretty good. It's, you know, I think it came out in 2001, I want to say, or 2002. And, you know, so the graphics are... they are what they are. They were good for the time. So that was the same year, I think, that Batman Arkham Asylum came out. There was another big game that came out, maybe a Rockstar game that came out. Whoops, I just hit the wrong button. Sorry. Maybe Grand Theft Auto 4 came out that year. So it might have just been, it might have flown under the radar because it just was up against a bunch of heavy hitter games. But yeah. But yeah, it's an impressive game. I'm quite enjoying it. I think I did mention, in fact, I know I mentioned in the game that I hope you guys don't get bored with the sabotaging. It is 1,400 targets, just over 14. It's like 1,403 targets, I think it is. 2009 was the saboteur. Okay, so I'm off by a few years. What else came out that year? Am I right about Arkham Asylum? So yeah, I mean, that's a lot of targets. That's a lot of sabotaging. And in the free play mode. So, and because I'm a completionist, I want to get all of them. You aren't going to find many people who are going to do that. Not with 1,400 targets. But when you have that many targets, it is going to have a tendency to take over the game. There's just no way around that. Okay, so we got pond edging. Year after Saints Row 2. Yeah. Same year as Arkham Asylum, GTA 4, DLCs. Okay. Okay, yeah. I don't know why it didn't do well. It's an impressive game. And for me, I mean, it's actually more impressive because World War II is a hobby of mine. Not a hobby. I shouldn't say that. That's not right. It's a interest of mine. Now, I have studied it to some extent. So I know in general the events that happened and when they happened and where they happened. But again, I have a terrible memory. So unfortunately, you know, I could know it and then completely forget, especially when it comes to dates. Like I'll forget what date something happened. I know the Battle of the Bulge was in 44 or 45. So I know when that was. And I know Poland was invaded in 30, was it 38 or 39? Can't remember. See what I mean? I have terrible memory. But, you know, I know the general order of events. So, yeah. Let's see how we're doing here. Oh, underneath. You rat bastards. Hang on, let's try to get up there. There you go. Yeah, we got stuff underneath here. They don't make this easy to get underneath these things, do they? Mean. Okay, how are we doing? I keep hitting the wrong button. I want to hit the tab button. Okay, looks pretty good. I think that looks all right. So yeah, my grandfather actually was one of those people on the beaches of Normandy. I don't know which beach. I don't know if it was, you know, Utah or Sword or. I mean, there were several beaches, so I don't remember which one, but he was on there. He was on that beach. He was career army. He ended his career as a major or a colonel. I can't remember which. I think it was a major. But yeah, he fought in World War II. In Europe. I don't think he went to Japan. At least he never told me any stories about Japan, so I don't think he did, but yeah, he was in Europe. He was a member of the cavalry. Now, I don't think he was cavalry when they did the beaches. I don't know if there were any cavalry on the beach. Maybe there were, but his main thing in the war was cavalry. So he had a horse and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that's kind of where my interest in it came from, if you're wondering, and why I became interested in World War II. Oh, cool. Great grandfathers with the RAF. Not nice. Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to the Saboteur, I can sit there and blow up Nazi installations all day. It never gets old to me. That's just the definition of fun for me. I can do that. I can make an entire game out of that, which pretty much they did. So, you know. But I hope it doesn't get boring for y'all. I can understand why you would think that. But I don't know. I think there's enough interesting stuff in there. I mean, the missions are interesting. Getting the perks are interesting. Have you guys seen the train bridge? Not the train. Yeah, the train bridges. Have you seen that episode yet? I'm not sure if that one's gone up yet. It might have. I'm always unsure because I'm like I said, I'm 2 episodes ahead of you guys, and I can't remember how long ago we did the trains. But that was a perk that got done, and quite a useful one. which is going to allow us to get pretty much the rest of the perks without any problem, I think. I think I have, at this point, 4 left? 4 or 5? We had 5 left. I think I got 1 this last week. Did I? Was that this last week? I think. Unless I'm wrong about that. Or maybe I was looking at it. I don't know. My brain is fried. But, yeah, I think the rest of the perks are going to be actually fairly straightforward, fairly easy. Shouldn't be a problem. I mean, he says. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, okay, good, good. So it did go up. I think it was over 2 episodes, so you might have seen the first one and the second one hasn't gone up yet. That's possible. Because I've finished the train bridges, all but one. We finished enough of the train bridges to get the perk, which you needed 4 train bridges for. So I don't know if you guys have seen that or not. I think, if I remember the map right, there's 1 more train bridge left, but it's optional. You don't get anything for doing it. But it's there, so, you know, I'll probably do it anyway. Just to have the last train bridge off the map. Oh, we got a message. What's up? Do you do bikes? I could do with someone running their thing over my deadbeat dirt bike. Okay. Florane and I would climb up and down that rock garden all day, pretending we were on Rumblin' Mount Rushless, and the pond was the crater. All right. I have no idea how we explained the fish being there, though. Sure. Where's there dirt on this? Ah, there you are. Why am I not seeing dirt? Hang on. Is it on the other side? Yeah. There we go. Look at that, we're at 20%. Okay, hang on just a second here, guys. I want to close this down. No, I'm not closing down. I'm just looking at my other screen for a second. Okay. All right, we're good. So yeah, as far as the Saboteur goes, I think we're at least 2/3 of the way through. We might be approaching 3/4. In fact, sorry, I'm going to hook this up again. Let me pull up my spreadsheet real fast. So for the Saboteur, do you guys want to see this? I can show it to you. I don't mind. So this be my spreadsheet. It's kind of hard to see because this is I've got the screen resolution down on this side, but these are the sabotage targets, and I can't here. Let me do this. Right here. So we finished 942 as of last week. I haven't done this week's yet. This week I finished Picard. Totally done. Except for 1 postcard I think we missed. But so we should be close to 1,000 by the time I do this week's edit. So yeah, you know, that we're 2/3 of the way through the sabotage targets. Missions wise, you know, we're in the midst of Act 2. Actually, I did 2 of these missions yesterday. So yeah, I mean, you know, we're 2/3 of the way through. That's where that's at. So yeah. Oh, let me see. How many perks did we get done? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, we still have 5. Okay. So I think I was trying to look at, what was I? I guess I was looking at the killing of 20 Nazis, or no, sorry, 10 Nazis with RDX or dynamite in 10 seconds. Basically, you got to get them all at once. That's going to be a specific mission we're going to do that in. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying that game. I would really like to do more Pandemic Studio games. I know they did Battlefront, which is a Star Wars game, as I understand. Is that right, Tag? I seem to remember the screenshot, or not the screenshot, but the kind of the logo shot was a stormtrooper holding a blaster. Ding. So yeah, yeah, and they're Star Wars games, right? I don't know. I feel like Battlefront was kind of an unfortunate naming choice. It doesn't really conjure up the concept of Star Wars, really. To me, that screams like war shooter kind of deal, which I guess they are. It's just that it's not a real war. It's the Imperial versus Rebels war. You can see I'm using the the yellow nozzle almost exclusively. There's some trophies with this game, I think. I'm on Steam. I think there's trophies with this game. Unless the Steam version, they're set in the Clone Wars. Oh, okay. See, more reason for me to go watch the Clone Wars again. Not again, but continue on. Just for those of you who don't know, I did start watching the Clone Wars. I've watched about the first 3 seasons, but I'm very, very bad about starting series and then not finishing them. I do it all the time. I've got like 6 series going right now. And the reason for that is because TV just really doesn't interest me that much. TV was when I want to relax, when I come home from work, if I want to relax, what I do is I sit in front of the computer. And I'll watch video, or I'll play a game, or whatever. Edit sometimes if I have stuff to edit. That's how I relax. My brain just is not wired for TV. TV was very much my wife's domain. That's how she relaxed. When she got home from work, she'd turn on the TV, and that's how she would relax. And on the weekends, that's what she would do if she wasn't doing stuff. I would sit in there, but the only reason I would go into the bedroom is just because that's where she was, right? Because she'd be watching the TV, so I'd go in there and watch the TV with her. But it was whatever she was watching. It wasn't anything that necessarily I was interested in. Not that I didn't like what she was watching. It would always be some comedy or other. And it was fine. But that's not my thing. TV just isn't my thing. So my brain will go, you know what? We should watch the Clone Wars, or we should watch what are some of the other series I've got going right now? Dragon Ball. I started watching Dragon Ball. And I'll go, yeah, I should do that. I need to actually sit down and watch some more of that show. And then I'll get into the room, like downstairs, where I do my work, or in the bedroom, and I'll go, I don't want to watch TV. that's what I do. So even though, in a theoretical sense, I want to see the show, I don't really want to watch TV. That's just not my thing. So I go very, very slowly through. I think it drives Michael nuts, because I started the Clone Wars and I haven't finished it. Or Doctor Who, same thing. Doctor Who. I started it way back when, and I just never really finished it. And it's not because I wasn't enjoying it. I don't watch TV. You know, I'd much rather read a book, or sometimes I'll watch video. But I did manage to finish Breaking Bad, finally. It took me about, I don't know, 2 years, something like that. But yeah, I'm so bad at watching shows. One of these days I'll get back into it. I want to actually get back into Dragon Ball a little bit more too. Because I was actually quite enjoying that. Although it's a silly show. I gotta say. We're going to talk about Dragon Ball, the game, in a little bit. Am I done with the Saboteur? Have we talked about the Saboteur enough? I don't really know what else to say about it. I'm quite enjoying it. It's actually one of my favorite games to play right now. Even though you think it wouldn't be, you think it would get repetitive, but like I said, I could destroy Nazi installations all day. Doesn't bother me at all. Why is this handle still dirty? There we go. Yeah, I think the lawnmower is done. I think. Yeah, that's the thing about Doctor Who. That's exactly right. Up until you get to 1970, there's like a lot of missing episodes. I think after 1970, isn't it right that they've got them all after that point? Am I right about that, or am I misremembering? I know 1970s when they finally decided to start in color, which is pretty late. I mean, Star Trek was in color in 1968. So, you know, 1970 seems like... I mean, why were you still in black and white? I mean, I quite liked it. It's a silly show. Silly. I shouldn't say silly. It's when did it start? 1960 something? 1960, early 60s. It is the product of its time, right? It is what it is, and it was a kids show, right? So you gotta take it for what it is. You can't expect it to be hold up to modern sensibilities. At least the early ones, anyway. Why is this window not clean? Bad window. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, when I say I'm starting a show, you should pretty much not expect me to finish it. Star Trek. Star Trek is another one that You know what I do with Star Trek? Actually, when I work from home, which is usually 3 days a week, I go downstairs and I'll turn on Star Trek and I'll work while that's on. So that's the reason I'm getting through Star Trek, is because that's what I have on when I'm working. But I'm into like the very end of Deep Space Nine now, as far as Star Trek goes. I will say I had seen all of Star Trek up through, but not including Deep Space Nine. So I had seen all of the original series, the animated series, all the movies, and then all of The Next Generation. Had to think about that one for a second. Oops, trying to hit the R key. I had seen all of those before, but I rewatched them all. And then I started Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine, I have tried to watch it before. I have trouble with it. A lot of people really, really like Deep Space Nine. It's like their favorite series. To me, I have trouble with Deep Space Nine. It definitely, I don't know. It's not that I don't like it. It just has trouble keeping my attention. So it's a struggle for me to get through that show. If it wasn't for the fact that I turn it on while I'm working, I probably wouldn't be finishing it, because that's, for all the reasons that I just said. So, anyway, how did we get on that subject? TV shows, Star Wars. Let's see, this is due to be publicly funded. They are known for spending a ton on things. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's true. They are publicly funded. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. So, yeah, I think we're done with the Saboteur, right? Did I don't know if I really talked much about it. I was talking about everything else, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a good game, and it's really a shame that they never got to do a sequel to that game. That's a bummer, because I think they set it up for a sequel. That game is set in, if I remember right, 1940 or 41. I mean, they've got 4 more years of the war to go that they could have explored. But presumably they would have done a different city, maybe? Paris is a good city to start with. That was got a lot of landmarks and stuff, and I mean, you couldn't ask for a better setting. But probably they would have gone to some other city, I would imagine. But what do I know? Okay, how are we doing here? Stuff in here. That might be good enough. We'll see. We'll see at the end if it dings for me. So let's talk about Dragon Ball Kakarot. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is the full name. Okay. Good game. I like it. I have to say about Kakarot, sometimes I feel like I'm watching that game more than I'm playing that game. It is very cutscene heavy, which is fine. You know, there are games that are like that. I don't have a problem with it. The only time it kind of, what's the word? Not annoys, but makes me anxious is when I'm trying to get out of an episode and suddenly they decide to go into a 15-minute cutscene. And then I'm like, dude, I got to get out. But yeah. But yeah, this last episode that I just did yesterday, very heavy cutscene episode. Although I did pick out a couple of bosses, so you know. That game has a pretty extensive list of bosses. We're over halfway through it, I think. The list of bosses. So, and then it has currently 6 DLCs, and then 2 more on the way, which probably will exist by the time I get to them. So we'll do the 8 DLCs. I'm given to understand they're not super long, but yeah, it's fine. It's a fine game. I enjoy it. Like I said, I started watching that series. You know, it's a kid's cartoon, sort of, kinda. Some of the things they do in that, I mean, you can tell it's not from America. It's not an American show, because you could never get away with some of that stuff in America, especially not for a kids show. I mean, it does have brief nudity, although it's all very innocent. But you couldn't. That would never fly in America. There's no way, especially not now. Now that the conservatives have taken over, for now. But even with the liberals in power, there's that would never happen. Oh, we got the horseshoe. Not that there's a ton. I mean, and it's all very innocent. I mean, in that Dragon Ball series, Goku is a child. He's about the age that Gohan is now in the Kakarot game. So he's just a little kid, and he's naked a fair amount. Like every time he goes swimming and stuff, he'll just throw off his clothes, and they'll show everything, but not like probably in the way that you're thinking. It's very, very innocent. The one thing they did is they did show Bulma fully naked from behind at one point. So you saw her butt. Like I said, that would never fly in America. They would never allow that. But it's a Japanese cartoon, so but it's pretty good. It just makes me laugh sometimes. Like, I don't know. Okay, how are we doing here? We got stuff up in there, I think. Yeah. Did I see? Yeah, you're not done yet. There you go. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty decent. I need the stool. It's over here, right? I feel like the one thing that kind of... Is there a way to rotate? Oh yeah, you can rotate this. Okay. How come I couldn't rotate the gnome like this? I tried this with the gnome. Okay, let's see if we can get up here. Ah, come on, you can do it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Boo. Do we have a ladder? Oh, we don't have a ladder. All right, fine. We can do it from here. What was I saying? I don't know. Oh yeah, the cartoon. So I got through, let's see, the first two sagas, which, what were they? The World Tournament, whichever number it was. I think it was 19, I want to say. But that was the second saga. What was the first saga? Can't remember what the first saga was. Anyway, I got to the Red Ribbon Saga, and I got partway through that one, and then I kind of fell off of it. If I restarted, I would restart at the Red Ribbon Saga. I don't think I was very far in. I was 3 or 4 episodes into the Red Ribbon Saga. Maybe a little further. But it's a cute show. It's cute. Oh, one thing I did want to say about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So in that game, and as I given to understand in the show, Bulma ends up with Vegeta, and I thought to myself, okay, Vegeta's a big jerk in the beginning of the show, so he must mellow out before Bulma would get together with him. It doesn't seem like he does. He seems like he's the biggest jerk in the world. You know, nothing has changed with him. He's kind of even more of an ass than he was earlier on. Like, at least earlier on, he was kind of, I don't know. But he's kind of an ass. And I'm like, why would Bulma marry this guy? Because he doesn't seem like to care about them at all. And her or Trunks, which is his son, doesn't seem to care in the slightest about him. And I'm like, Bulma, what the hell, dude? Why? What's the deal there? So I'm having a hard time with that one. Understanding, because it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why she's with this guy. I mean, I liked her better with Yamcha than Vegeta. I keep wanting to call him Piccolo. Piccolo's the Namekian. But yeah, I don't know. That seems weird to me. I don't know what the deal is with that. It doesn't make any sense why she would marry that guy. You know. But who knows? Okay, what are we doing? Are we doing the porch? Is that what I've decided I'm doing? All right, Tag. See you later. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Doc, bumped into the park warden. He definitely needs your help. Okay, cool. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Kakarot. I don't really have much to say about it. It's good. I think we're a little over halfway through the game, the base game anyway. We don't have any games right now that are imminently going to end. Often I do have, like, you know, I have 5 games going, so it's like there's usually one that's getting pretty close. Right now, nothing is even close. I don't think. I think the closest thing maybe we have is maybe Lego Clone Wars. But that's still, gosh, 2-3 months away before we finish that one. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Saboteur will finish first, but I think we're going to have a lot of games come in at the same time. Very close to each other as far as finishing goes. So, we'll see. I'm just looking at my stream here, guys. How long has this been going? We've been about an hour? What time did we start? Probably about 7:30, huh? So probably about an hour. I don't see a timer anywhere on my... Hang on my stream thing. So I don't really know... You'd think it would show somewhere, wouldn't you? That's odd. I don't really see it. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. That's possible. You guys follow me, you know that in-game, there's often things I don't see. Let's talk about that for a minute. So you guys, I don't know if it's frustrating for you guys. I can understand why it would be. When I don't get something in-game, especially if you already know the answer. If you already know the answer, if you've like seen the game before, or you played it yourself, and you know the answer, and I'm struggling with something, that can be super frustrating. I get it. I've seen people complain about that thing before, but you got to understand, these are games that I'm playing blind. You got to think back to the first time you ever played the game, and did you struggle with something? And I'm doing it very publicly. So, you know, you got to give me some slack there. But beyond even that, your gaming IQ when you're recording and stuff drops. I swear it does. Like a perfect example of this was a few weeks ago. This was in Lego Star Wars. I was looking for a planet on the planetary screen. I think it was the Rishi Moon. And I'm like, why is the Rishi Moon not up? I can't find the Rishi Moon. I was right on top of it. And I didn't see it. And I'm like, and in edit, I was looking right at it. I was like, dude, why didn't you see that? I mean, seriously, it was right in the middle of the screen. And I didn't see it when I was playing, but in the edit, it was right there. You know, I saw it perfectly fine. So I think, you know, when you're trying to concentrate on talking and everything that's going on, sometimes that kind of thing's going to happen. I would imagine, I don't know this for a fact, but I would suspect that happens more often than you think when you're playing a game. I feel like if you recorded yourself playing a game, you would see that happen to yourself. Even if you're not, and I don't mean like recording for streaming or for posting purposes, but just record yourself and see how much stuff you miss when you go back and watch it. Because you don't know when you're playing the game. Like, you don't know what you don't know, right? So you'd be like, well, I don't miss stuff. Like I see everything, but I bet you don't. I bet you there's stuff that you don't realize went right by your screen and you don't see it. I have the kind of, well, not unique, but I have the ability to go back and watch my playthrough again. So I'll see stuff that I missed in edit or whatever, and that almost might even give me an advantage sometimes, because you know, I could go back and see it And instead of missing it, the next week I can go back and get whatever it was I missed. You know, if I haven't passed it or whatever. So yeah. But yeah, I would imagine that sometimes happens. But yeah, I can understand how it gets frustrating. I have gotten frustrated with other streamers for the same exact reason. You know, but you gotta give people a break. You know, if they're playing blind, I remember one particular time, I think I was watching Arkham City with somebody playing it at one point, and they were stuck on some Riddler trophy or other. And I was like, just look up, just tilt the camera up like 5 degrees and you'll see it. And they didn't. But, you know, that can get frustrating. So I get it. I understand when people get frustrated about stuff like that. You just got to remember that, you know, I've never played most of these games before, or some of them, sometimes some of them I have, or I might have partially played them like I have with God of War. But for the most part, I'm playing games blind, and I'm deliberately not looking things up. So you gotta understand that. Okay, let's talk about Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Because we haven't talked about Immortals yet. This is the new game on my palette of games that we're playing. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. What do I want to say about Immortals? It's a fun game. It is an Ubisoft game, and you can tell it's been, you know, it's been Ubisoft. There's microtransactions, there's loot boxes, all that kind of stuff. I'm ignoring all that. Like, I don't think I have anything. I don't know if I have anything purely cosmetic, like DLC wise. I might, because I think I got the season pass. So if I have anything that's purely cosmetic, that's why. But otherwise, I will not buy packs that are just cosmetic packs. That doesn't interest me. That's just taking advantage of completionists, and, you know, I don't want to encourage that kind of behavior. So, generally I won't buy those kind of things, but I do buy season packs sometimes. And I think I bought the season pack, and I'm almost positive I did, because I have extra bits and bobs. Like, you know, Zeus's lightning and crystals and whatnot that I wouldn't normally have. Which I don't... It's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. Like, why are you giving me stuff? Why am I buying stuff to, like, shorten the game? Like, why would you think that's a good idea? I don't really understand that. Why do you want to make the game shorter? If you're a player, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a weird concept to me. Why you want a shortcut? I guess, you know, if it's something tedious that you have to collect and you don't want to collect it, I guess that's why. I'm not really sure. Me, I don't want to shorten the game. I want the game to be as long as the game is supposed to be. But on the other hand, if they're deliberately making it tedious so that you will buy their little DLC packs, yeah, I can see that. That's annoying. And Ubisoft is, of course, one of the primary offenders in that sort of thing. So, I get it. Anyway, Immortals Phoenix Rising, a good game. I'm quite enjoying it. It's good writing. It's funny, that game takes forever to load. I start up the recording software just before I start the game. It is a full 3 minutes before that game is ready to start playing. From the time that you start up the recording software to the time where I can start playing, 3 minutes long. Hey, look at that. We did that. Because it loads up the Ubisoft launcher, which is fine. Whoops, sorry. I just hit the mic. Hope you guys didn't see that or catch that. It loads up the launcher, and then it loads the game menus and stuff, it just takes forever. It's just a long load. It's the longest load I've seen in a game in a while. Kind of funny, but it's a good game. I played it, or I recorded this morning. Had a little bit of a tough time on the game this morning. The thing about the vaults with the Tartaros vaults is they don't tell you how difficult it is before you go into it. So you actually have to go into it to see the difficulty. And sometimes you may get into something that's like way beyond your ability. So that's going to happen. That happened to me this morning. I got into something. Actually, I got stuck on something. I couldn't figure out how to get to a chest. And I don't know if that's because I didn't have the stuff that I needed to get to it. So yeah, that was a difficulty 2. And I didn't really have much problem with the vault itself. I actually made it to the lightning bolt, but I didn't take the lightning bolt because I didn't want to finish the vault without getting the chest. But I couldn't figure out how to get to the chest. So it's a little bit of a weird situation there because you never know what you're going to get until you get in there. I mean, I may end up in a level 3 vault that I have absolutely no ability to do at the point that I'm at in the game. Otherwise, I think it's a good game. I think it's fun. I like the mechanics. I think it's interesting. Did I mention this? There's a part of me that's almost like not wanting to mention this because I could get myself into trouble. So I did decide to play a female character. And sometimes I get flack for that. Like when I have a choice, I will usually play a female character. Some people don't like that. To me, the reason I do it is because the games are so male dominated that it's just refreshing to have something different. That's the only reason. I know it's a thing where I guess it's primarily transgender people will play female characters when they can. I am not transgender, guys. Not that I have any problem with it. In fact, I am a huge ally of that group and all LGBTQ groups. I am one of the biggest allies there is. Well, you know, as much as I can be. I just happen not to be a member of that community directly. So that is not the reason I am playing female characters. It's just I like to have a little variety in my playthrough, right? So what do we say? Is this the Dirt Finder General? Got your details from a certain Harper Shaw, as there is an alleged... Damn it. Hang on a second. It took too long to read that. Sorry, I don't know what I was doing. Let's see. Got your details from your friend Harper. I could really do with a hand at my place when you're free. Okay, cool. Sunlight Dream RV at the auctions, all creamy like toffee pie on wheels. Okay, I don't know what that means. So yeah, that's the reason why I play female characters when I can. Because if you look at the games that I'm playing right now, 4 other games are primarily male characters. Let's see. God of War, male. Now, granted, there's some companions sometimes you have that are female. Like right now, when I'm running through Vanaheim, I have Freya as my companion, but I'm not playing Freya. I'm playing Kratos. So, you know, and I don't think you ever play a female character, at least as far as I know, in that game. So, God of War, male. The Saboteur, male. Dragon Ball Z, lots of characters in the game. All of them, male. Even the support characters are all male, except for maybe one. Is there a female support character in that? I'm not sure. I think there's one character that I don't know who... Oh, yeah. I remember. Android 18 is female, and that's a support character, apparently. I have her on my list. but it's a support character. You don't actually play her. She's just with you. Right? So every character you play in that game is male. I think there's one character that I don't have yet, and I don't know who it is, and that is Goten. I don't have any idea who Goten is, and that may be female. I don't know. But every character in that game so far is male. Then we talked about Immortals, and then Star Wars is, again, primarily male. I mean, that's a little bit of a weird one because you've got a whole character roster, but primarily male. So yeah, you know, it's just for something to have something a little different. That's the reason I like to do it female when I can, because it just is. It gets boring playing the same male characters all the time. So, but yeah. It's not because I am a heterosexual male person. It has nothing to do with anything like that, guys. And it just happens to be what I am. You know, I would have no problem being gay or being transgender. I just am not. So let's see. Let's rotate. But I do have friends that are, and they're great people. They are excellent people. So yeah. If that bothers you, well, sorry. What can I say? There we go. That chair's done. Hey, look, we're at 61%. So, is there anything else I want to say about Immortals? I don't know. I don't think so. We're still early days on that game. Do you guys want to see the map? I can show you the map. Let me see. Hang on. Can I pull it up? Should be able to. Let me show you the map, because it's kind of interesting. Although, again, this is a reduced resolution on this screen, so it's not going to be a little bit hard to see. Let me pull this over here. Let's see how this looks. So, this is from, what do you call this? Map Genie? I use Map Genie a fair amount when in games like this where there's a lot of collectibles and stuff. I used it for Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, same thing. Look at that map. Is that crazy or what? I mean, that's just nuts. If you look at what we've done so far, you can tell, look down here where the icons are disappearing. That's the icons that we've done. Now, I haven't edited this week's episode, so I've done a few more than that, but yeah. We're down in here, but look at all this. So yeah, that's quite a bit of stuff we're going to be doing. So yeah. Fun. But it's a good game. I'm quite enjoying it. I think the dialogue between Zeus and who is it, Prometheus, is hilarious. I think they did a good job with that. So I don't think we have really much else to say about Immortals. By the way, guys, if you have questions about a particular game, even if I've already talked about it, feel free. It's, you know, I'll go back. Doesn't matter. Just because we've passed the game already doesn't mean I can't go back and talk about whatever. It's fine. I have no problem. Also, gang, if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, and you have a question and stuff, throw it in the comments. I will definitely get to it next week. Assuming we do this again next week. I'm assuming we will. Ah, come on. There you go. I'm stuck under the table. Why can't I stand up? I seem to be stuck. There we go. Did we do all the chairs? I think we did all the chairs. Okay, let's do the table. So yeah, feel free to shoot questions into the comments if you're watching this after the fact. The interesting thing about streaming is I can't edit this at all. If I edit it even just to cut out stuff from the front or whatever, it loses the not the commentary, but the chat. You can't show the chat on an edited stream. I feel like they do that because they don't want stuff to be cut in and taken out of context, which you could do if you were editing it. Maybe that's why they do that. So if you edit it even a little bit, the chat goes away. So you can't even like clip out the starting soon thing and all that stuff. That all has to stay in, otherwise the chat gets lost. So, which is unfortunate actually, because sometimes, you know, you have to click through the starting soon thing and all that. Okay, so let me talk about Star Wars. Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. I'm going to go ahead and say that Star Wars 3: Clone Wars is the single most difficult LEGO game to date that we've done so far. We've done all of them up through that game. And of course, they're not meant to be difficult. They're I wouldn't say they're children's games. I mean, children can play them, obviously, but they're fun for adults. But they're not meant to be hard. But Star Wars 3 is hard. It can be difficult sometimes, especially like the ground battles. Man, those things can be tough. I don't know how a child would get through that. At least someone who's like younger than 7 or so. Because those time limits are rough sometimes. Oops, that's the wrong button. I meant to hit the R button. We're stuck. Won't let me pass this chair. That's fine. Yeah, this morning I actually recorded for 2 hours. And I probably have an hour's worth of footage. This morning was kind of a banner day because it was the first day we did a free play. So you guys are an episode or 2 episodes behind. So the next episode you see this week will be the last of the story missions. So that's it's not Zilla Beast, it's the one after. Is it Zilla Beast? What's the last one? It might be Zilla Beast. Maybe it is, because Hostage Crisis was the second to last one. And I was about to say it was Hostage Crisis, but it's not. I'm just looking at what is going on with the stream. Oh, I see the counter now. Why is it showing stuff like way far back? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? It's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. You guys might be like a minute behind me, possibly. Not that it matters. This game is. Anyway, if the commentary doesn't line up with what I'm doing, that might be why. It seems like it's way far back. Like on the screen, it's still cleaning the porch, and I'm way past that. I wonder if it's like lagging. Anyway, you guys let me know. So right now I'm cleaning the umbrella. So I don't know if that's what you guys are seeing or not, but yeah, Star Wars. So, I mean, I'm enjoying it, but boy, it can be challenging. It's not your typical LEGO game, I think. I think it might be the only time they really tried to go more hardcore, at least for now. Although those games came out like one right on top of each other. I think the games that I'm playing right now, they all came out in the same year. Harry Potter, Lego Star Wars and Pirates of the Caribbean, which is the next one, all came out in the same year. So it's not like, they could take the feedback they got from one and apply it to the other. The other were well on their way to being done by the time they got any feedback from the last one. So I'm not really expecting it to change a whole lot based on what happened in the previous games, but you know what I mean? Because a studio will take a game that they've done, if they're going to do like a similar game in the future, and like Ubisoft will with Assassin's Creeds, they'll go back and go, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what should we keep, what should we change. With Lego, because they came out so much right on top of each other, I don't think they had that opportunity to do that right away. So it'll be a couple of games before we get some. Can we get up on top of this? Not really. Yeah, we can. Okay. Yeah, it'll be a couple games before the feedback from Harry Potter, Pirates, and Star Wars gets to a point where they can actually incorporate it into games, I think. At least I think so. I don't think they ever did this sort of really, really difficult thing again. I don't know. Maybe they were going after an older audience for Lego Star Wars 3. But yeah, those ground battles can be tough. And the only thing that makes them tough is the time limit. If it wasn't for the time limit, it would be no problem. It's not a big deal at all. But that time limit can be tricky. So yeah, I did the first of the free plays this morning. And that went fine. So we went all the way back to the Geonosis Arena, which is the prologue mission, and got all the, what do you call them? All the mini kits. So 10 mini kits plus True Jedi. That's the only thing that are in these levels. Some of the Lego games, they used to have red bricks and gold bricks inside the levels. This game doesn't. The only thing that's inside the game are the mini kits and True Jedi. So those are the things you have to get when you're doing free play. So yeah. But yeah, that game does not really tell you what it wants from you sometimes. You just have to kind of figure it out. And sometimes that's easy, and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes, like, how was I expected to know how to do that, So, I think they tried to make it a little bit more difficult in that game, as opposed to the previous games. But I am waiting for the Lego games to catch up. So I'm doing Star Wars 3, which came out in, I want to say 2011. Those games and none of the games to this point have worked with an Xbox One controller. They just will not work. Maybe you can get them to work with a little messing around, but I have a hard enough time getting an Xbox controller or an Xbox 360 controller to work with them. The Xbox One controller simply won't work. It will not do. It's really hard to explain what it does, but it messes with the Player 2 a lot. Yeah, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I don't even use Player 2, and it's messing with it. So yeah, I'm waiting for the time. I believe the Xbox One came out in 2013. I'm waiting for us to get to 2013 so that hopefully the Xbox One controller will start working with Lego games. Up to this point, they don't. And I believe I'm in 2011 as far as when this game came out. By this game, I mean Star Wars, The Clone Wars. And of course, Pirates of the Caribbean was the same year. And then the game after that, what's the game after that? I think it's Harry Potter 5 through 7, and I think that's probably 2012. Could be wrong, but oh man, this is a mess. These rocks and crevices. So yeah, as far as that goes, we have, so for the ground battles, we did 8 missions for the Republic because I wanted to get everything turned to blue, which means Republic controlled. Is that right? Yeah, Republic controlled. And the reason I wanted to do that was because if everything is blue, all the planets are Republic controlled, all 16 of them, you pick up a character, and that was Chancellor Palpatine, which I got last week, which I think you guys will see this week. So this Friday, you'll see that happen. Sorry, spoilers if you didn't know. So that was the purpose of, you know, I was only doing, if it was already Republic controlled when we got the planet, then I didn't do it. So 8 of the 16 planets we had to swap over from Separatist controlled to Republic controlled. So we did that, and I got Chancellor Palpatine. Now we got to go back the other way. Now we got to go everything red. So we have all 16. We do now have all 16 planets. I didn't actually have one planet that I could do yet, but I've got it now. We got to flip them all back the other way. And I tried to do that this morning to do the first one. I want to do one per episode. And oh my God. I was struggling. And part of it was because I don't really know how the Separatist vehicles play. Like which vehicles can destroy silver buildings and which can destroy gold buildings. I don't know. I haven't played them. So I'm trying to figure that out. And it was going poorly, let me just tell you. And hence the 2-hour play this morning. So I did the free play mission. That was fine. Didn't take me very long. And then I tried to do the ground battle for the Separatists, and boy, spent a long time messing with that. Failed one planet altogether. I tried to do Coruscant and found that we didn't own it yet for Separatist battles for whatever reason. And then went to the next planet, tried to do it, failed several times, all because of the time limit. And then went to the next planet. I was like, well, maybe we just don't have the vehicle. So I bought a bunch of vehicles for the Separatists and went into the next mission on a different planet. And it was an escape pod mission, which means you have to own 8 bases. And struggled with that as well because I couldn't figure out how to destroy gold buildings. Right. I didn't seem to have any vehicle that would destroy gold buildings. I finally did find one that works, so I did eventually get it done. It took me several attempts. So I mean, so the bottom line is I'm having to learn the Separatist vehicles and what can do what. So like the Republic vehicles, I know I have an idea of what can destroy what and what's the best thing to use. But the Separatist vehicles, I have absolutely no idea. So that's something, you know, it's a learning curve. So yeah, that's what was taking me so long this morning. But we'll get it done. 16 missions for the Separatists, and then another once those are all turned red, and we get the character that we're waiting for, then it's just a matter of doing the 8 left that we didn't do for the Republic because when we got them, they were already blue. We'll have to do those 8 and flip them back from red to blue again. But yeah, that's the plan. And we recently got the bounty hunters, so I think we've gotten everything now unlocked. I don't think there's anything left that we can't do. We got the bounty hunters, we've got the Separatist missions, of course we got the Republic missions, and we've got the free play stuff. I think we've got everything we need. I did try to pick up a red brick this morning, and every red brick I looked at was way more money than I had available. So, for whatever reason, they're really expensive. What I need to find is the next multiplier. Right, the next red brick multiplier. We have the ×2 multiplier. I need the ×4 multiplier. I think it's the next one. And I actually don't know where it is. I could look it up, but I'd prefer not to. See how we're doing here. This is a mess. All these rocks, nooks and crannies. Oh, hey. Cool. So much for the stone. Nice. So yeah, as far as the channel goes, guys, I mean, you know, it's doing okay. It's not doing super, you know, we're not doing millions of views, but we're fine. Some games do better than others. I don't know why I'm doing that. That was already done. Okay, let's stand up. I think we have to do this up here, do we not? Oh, we did that already. Okay, cool. Hey, we're 77% of the way through the yard. Nice. So yeah, the Lego games actually do pretty well, generally speaking. People seem to enjoy watching those, so which kind of surprises me. I thought they might have been too young for many people, but I mean, I enjoy them, so I guess maybe other people do too. So cool. You know, but they do seem to do pretty well usually. Toy car. Immortals was doing pretty well, but again, that's early on. The early episodes of a game always do really well. We'll see if it continues on. The last episode that posted actually kind of did poorly, but I think that was more of a thumbnail issue. The thumbnail for that wasn't particularly great. So, sometimes it's hard to tell, you know? I tried to do my best to get something interesting for a thumbnail. Sometimes you just don't know. So are we done here? I think we're done here, yeah? Yeah, I think so. Okay, cool. Hey, we got 3 stars. Yeah, you know, thumbnails are a tricky thing because you have to be aware that people are looking at this on your phone, so you got to get something that shows up at a very small resolution. So that's challenge number 1. So I could have something that's really interesting, but it's too far in the background to be useful. That happens all the time. In fact, I feel like my thumbnails probably I should pay more attention to that and try to get more stuff in the foreground because people are going to be watching it at a very small resolution. I try to be cognizant of that, but I think sometimes I fail. And then you got to get something interesting, something that looks good. I've tried to do action shots. I find action shots don't really work that well for thumbnails. Because you can't really tell what's going on, and there's usually motion blur going on, and you know, so it just tends not to work as well. Like if I try to get an explosion in, and I still do that sometimes, like with the Saboteur and whatnot, but it's not as, they don't do as well, and that's because you really can't sometimes tell what's going on in the shot. There's too much going on, and so you can't see, especially at a small resolution, right? So I don't know if I can get back in there. Maybe I don't have to. Let's see. There we go. What have we got left? Oh, we got the trellis. That thing. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I think... Oh, we got a message. Looks like you're almost done. My girls can't wait to get out there. Yeah. We're at 80% now. So yeah, as far as thumbnails go, I think that's why a lot of times what you'll see in thumbnails is pictures of people's faces, because it's easy to see what's going on. You can get them in the foreground usually. Now, to people who are just looking at a thumbnail, that face may not mean anything. To the person who's playing the game, it means something. So I think you have to be kind of careful with that, because what's going on here? You know, it's just a face. Like, it's not going to really mean anything to anybody sometimes, unless it's the main character, maybe. But I think that's why you see faces all the time in thumbnails, just all the time. And mine too. I mean, I'm not exempting myself from that. That's kind of the default thing that you go for, because it's easy, right? And you gotta think that I do 5 of those things a week. You can't spend hours on them. I can do my thumbnails in about 15 minutes or so, once I find the shot that I want. I've got it down to a science. Some of it I've even got macroed, so I can just hit a button and it'll do some of the stuff for me, which is nice. But I still try to continually improve on them. They change now and again. Looks like we got some dirt. Yeah, we sure do. You get off of there. There you go. What is still... Oh, side. Yeah, I mean, I just recently added some depth. Excuse me, sorry guys. Goodness. I recently added some depth to the some of the panels. It's a 3D effect, which is new. So I do still work on them, trying to get them to look a little better. But yeah, thumbnails is a whole science. Why is this? Oh, it's probably underneath, huh? Yeah. Okay. That tray's clean. Wait, hang on, I just saw this. Get underneath here. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of an overview of the games that we've got going on now, my thoughts on said games. I'm quite looking forward to Pirates of the Caribbean. That should be fun to play. Okay, down here. So, starting with Lego Harry Potter 1 through 4, the Lego people started doing this thing where you can't do free play until after you finished the entirety of the story missions. And the way they've enforced that is they don't give you the thing that you need to do the free play, at least 100% the free plays, I should say, until the very end of the game. Which I don't really like. I prefer to mix them in together as much as I can. Let's see how we're doing here. So you will notice the first games that I played, from Star Wars The Complete Saga all the way up until Harry Potter 1 through 4, I would mix in story mode and free play mode kind of as we were going. But after Harry Potter, or at the point that we started Harry Potter, I couldn't do free play until the very, very end. And that's because there was a particular spell you didn't get until like the last story mission. And they did that again with Star Wars The Clone Wars game, where you didn't get the snipers. You didn't get the Robonino is the name of the character, which you need in virtually all of the free play levels to 100% them. You don't get him till the very last or second to last story mission, right? So so I couldn't do any free plays. I mean, I could do them, but I couldn't 100% them. So there was no point in even worrying about it. And as I was doing my checklist for pirates, it's the same exact thing. In fact, I can show it to you guys. Here, you guys want to see this? Let's see. Let's pull up pirates. Let's bring over my spreadsheet again. This is the thing that I use to keep track of games. And you guys can see this because I don't have anything down here that's... Sometimes I have games down here that I'm planning on playing that I haven't started yet. And then I won't show it to you guys because, again, that whole thing about not actually starting them. But right now, everything is current except for pirates. But we're going to play pirates next. There's no question about that. So the thing that you get... There's a thing you get in the Fountain of Youth. It is... Let's see. It is a particular character. Let's see, we'll go all the way to the bottom. Blackbeard. Complete the Fountain of Youth. That's how you get him. And he's the character that has the Sword of Triton. No other character in the game has this. He is the only one that has that particular ability. All through here. I made a character list in this particular one, which I don't normally do. But so if you look in the free plays, you will see that virtually, not all of them, but almost all of them have Sword of Triton in them. Sword of Triton, Sword of Triton. That one doesn't. This one does. That one does. That one does. That one does. Look at this. I mean, it's all throughout, right? So they did the same thing in this game. You can't do the free plays. I mean, because almost all of them have the Sword of Triton in them. So we're not going to be able to do the free plays until after we finish all of the stories. So these are the story missions right here. It's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5, 10, 15. There's 20 story missions in total. And then 20 free plays. And that's the entire game, guys. It's not like Star Wars, The Clone Wars. In The Clone Wars, there's 100 and... I want to say 103 or 108. Well, it's right here. I don't know why I'm guessing. It's right here. There are 108 things to do. 44 story, free play, 48 assault missions, and 16 bounty hunters, of which we're through a fair amount of these already. 108. And I do 3 per week, so that's why there's 36 weeks in this. I know exactly how long this game is going to be. Pirates is only these 20 missions plus these 20 free plays. That's it. There's nothing else to it. There's no assaults or anything like that. So it's going to be a shorter game. But yeah, we'll just run through the missions and then we'll run through the free plays. And I don't know, maybe we'll do 2 missions per week or something like that. I'm not really sure. We'll just have to see. I hope you guys are seeing this, because my live streaming thing says we're still way back on cleaning the pond. That's so weird. I'll have to watch that back and see what you guys are seeing. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Anyway. Okay. Let's close that. Maybe it's just delayed. Kind of confusing. We've been at this almost 2 hours. Okay, what we'll do is we're going to finish off this level. And then I think we'll call it a day. But let's finish this off. So yeah, we'll play pirates. But that's how we'll have to do it. We'll have to do all the story missions and then all the free play missions after that. I kind of hope that they stop doing that at some point, but I'm not holding my breath. The next game is going to be Harry Potter 5 through 7, and I'm sure they're going to do the same thing. So, and then after that, we'll see. We shall see. Here, let's get the back. Hey, cushion's done. Other cushion's done. So you guys were kind of quiet. That's fine. That's fine. If you guys don't want to chat in the comments, that's totally fine. If you have questions about the games or whatever, doesn't matter. Anything you want. Like I said early on in this thing, just leave them in the comments below. I'll get to them next week. I'm presuming we're gonna do this again next week. I don't see why not. It's just a question of whether I have the time. This normally would be the time that I'm editing the Saboteur, so I still got to do that today. So we'll see how it goes. I would prefer that the YouTube doesn't take up my entire day, but we'll see. You know, we'll see. We'll just kind of see how it goes. I mean, there's some chance that this could be a one-time thing because I just don't have the time for it. I could find that it's just taking up too much time, but if not, we'll do it again next week. It's fine. I'll let you guys know. I wasn't necessarily expecting a huge turnout for this, especially early on. Hopefully more people show up if we do these in the future, but it's fine. I know my channel is very it's very niche. Not many people were really interested in watching a completionist playthrough. I think it's kind of a rare thing. That's why it doesn't get done a lot. Most YouTubers are trying to rush through the game as fast as they possibly can. And the reason they do that, guys, if you don't know, it's changed, is because if you're in this to make money, the money makers are the first episodes. First episode especially, second episode a little less, but still some. Once you get past 3 episodes or so, the viewership drops off, and that's just normal. So a YouTuber wants to do as many games as they can if they're in it for the money. I should say they want to do as many games as they can in 2 or 3 episodes. So they're rushing through it. That's why you'll see them rush a game. And to me it's a little bit too bad because it's become kind of the norm. It's become normalized, and I don't love that. So it's a pretty rare person that actually takes their time and is nice and slow and, you know, savors the game. That's the way I like to play. I like to savor a game. So yeah, that's the reason why you don't see a lot of completionists, I think. It's really not financially viable. At least I think so. I don't think I do bad. I mean, you guys tell me, but I don't think I do bad content. I think my content is fine. At least I hope so. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. But, okay, I think we're done down here. Where's that stool at? What did I do with that stool? Oh, I stuck it over here, didn't I? But I don't have a huge viewership, and I think that's because you know, there's not a lot of people interested in watching that long of an episode. I'm gonna have to rethink this. Or that long of, what am I trying to say? That long of a playthrough. Like if I have a game like Horizon Zero Dawn that took me 100 episodes, you know, that's a big ask. You're asking a lot of people to watch through a game that long. And then Forbidden West took even longer. Wasn't Forbidden West about 120 episodes or something? Can't remember. I know Zero Dawn was exactly 100 episodes. That's a long game. And that's 100 hours is a long time. And you know, no one wants to watch episode 100 if they haven't watched the first 99. So I get it. So, oh, we're up nice and high. How did I get up this high? Am I on top of the thing? I am on top of the thing. Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah. I haven't seen many completionist games that are completionist channels that are really truly successful. There aren't that many. What are we missing? Oh, we're missing this thing over here. Oh, the birdhouse. Yeah, let's do the birdhouse. I do notice that for whatever reason, I don't know why, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, it just is what it is. The female-led YouTube channels seem to do better than the male-led ones, I think. In general, you know. Yeah. I don't know why that is. I guess, I don't know. Most male, or most viewership on YouTube is male, I would think, I guess. So maybe they just prefer looking at women. Sure. That assumes there's a face cam, I guess, too. Nothing, I mean, I'm not saying there's anything bad about that. It's just, that's what it is. I don't use a face cam. I have nothing against it. I'm on camera all the time for work because, you know, like I said, I work from home 3 days a week, and then I go into the lab the other 2 days a week. But when I'm at home, if I have to have a meeting, it's via face cam. So I do that. So I have no problem being on camera. I just don't choose to do it for YouTube because I don't know. I think channels with face cams do better. So maybe I'm hurting myself, but I just didn't really see the point. Maybe I should. But it would require me to get another camera, you know, a ring light, maybe a green screen. You know, it's a lot of work. And then there's a whole extra editing that has to go into it because you have a whole other channel that you're working on. And it just seems like a lot. I have no problem doing it. Okay, so we've gotten... Why is this not coming up yet? We gotta get this trellis. Which is a pain in the butt. But putting in a trellis is mean. This takes a little bit of concentration. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the face cam thing. I mean, that's all I really have to say about it. I don't have anything against it. If you guys really wanted to see it, you could. But I just didn't really see the point. I understand why other people do it. I have nothing against it. Other people doing it, it's fine. Tag does it. It's fine. But I'm probably hurting myself by not doing it. I don't know. I don't really... There's a part of me that's not that concerned about how many people watch the videos. Like, do I care? I mean, there is a part of me that I can't say that I totally don't care. It's hard to do a video, you know, and spend time on it, on a particular series, and then have nobody watch it. That's difficult. You know, it's... When you put your hard work into something and then just goes unwatched, that's a tough thing to stomach. I mean, I have a thick skin, and that's hard for me. So if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, yeah, it's gonna be hard. But you know, some of my videos struggle to get to double digits in views and double digits in watch time. But it's fine. I don't care that much, to be honest. If it doesn't get totally watched, it isn't that big of a deal. There we go. Yay. We still don't have a to-do list. I'm 97% of the way done here. But I would like it to get at least a little watched. That's the hope, anyway. You know, views are always nice. I've seen some creators just have a fit about people not watching or trying to get more people to watch their things. Which can get to be... Okay, this fence is not done yet. What am I missing? Oh, I see some stuff over there. Okay. I think I saw some stuff over here. Did I not? Yeah, okay. Everything's good here. What am I missing, guys? What am I missing? I don't even have a to-do list. I can look. Control panel. Really? Oh, you bastard. Gotta do it. Oh, here's something too. So yeah, you know, I've seen that happen, and I've seen some creators go off about it, like multiple times. To me, you know, I guess if this is what you're relying on to make a living, then sure, but... Oh, there's another one. I missed these. If you're whining too much about viewers and hours, and that can get to be a turnoff. Me, I can be like, dude, calm your situation, play your game, do the best video you can. If it gets watched, it gets watched. If not, well, then try to improve. But there we go. Got some stuff over here. Man, I'm surprised this thing hasn't given me a to-do list yet. Ah, there you are, you. What in the world am I missing? I don't see anything. Why am I stuck on the ground? Come on. I'm going to have to look. I don't see what I'm missing, and it hasn't given me a list. If you have more than... Oh, the sofa. If you have more than... there we go. 3 things or 4 things left, it won't give you a to-do list. It's just kind of tricky to get under. So I'm hoping one will pop up pretty soon. I'm stuck. Okay, let's go over here. There we go. Still no to-do list. This means I've got at least 4 things left. I'm going to have to look and see what they are, because I can't see anything. Sometimes this barbecue can be tricky, I think. I don't see anything flashing. I hate having to look, because it feels like cheating, but I'm going to have to look. Because I don't see anything. Alright, let's take a look. What's left? Swing sofa chains. And cushions. Okay. The swing sofa is still not working. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, yeah. I see you in there. Chains. Really? Oh. Maybe there? Hang on. Yeah, that chain's still saying it's not clean. There you go. And that chain says it's fine. Cushion still says it's got dirt. Where? Down in there. So, you have chosen the way of death. Come on, cushion. There you go. Man. Still don't have a to-do list. Alright, let's take a look at what we're missing. Now I'm reaching the point in this game where I have to look. Step edgings. Let's take a look at that. Step edgings. What would be a step edging? It's this one. That's... okay. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. It's one of these. Yep. There you are, you rat bastard. Okay. Doghouse roof, fence post, pond rims. Doghouse roof. Really? There's the doghouse roof. Fence posts. Fence posts. That fence post is fine. That fence post is fine. That fence post is fine. Okay, it must be one of these over here. You're good. You're good. You're good. What the hell? Ah. Okay, you're fine. Yeah, you're still broken. Oh, yep, that would do it. Okay, and now we're looking for pond rims. What does a pond rim look like? That's this thing. There we go. Job completed. Nice. Hey, Doc. Cal here. Got a job for you over at my folks' bungalow when you can fit it in. All right, let's take a look at our... Oh, yeah, we got to do this. Cool. Doc, the yard looks fantastic. There are a couple of budding mountaineers already clambering over that rock garden, and I intend to join them. Thanks again on your great job, and if I hear anyone in need, I'll send them your way. Yep, that looks like all of our messages. There's the details. Cool, cool. Very nice. Go back. Let's look at the... let's see. Let's look at the shop. See what we can buy. We got some modifications, some equipment. Let's look at the equipment. So we got a turbo nozzle, a spinning 0-degree nozzle that increases the area of effect while maintaining maximum pressure. $15. Yeah, let's buy that. We got an extension. $50. 1,500 foot long extension. Improves the range of the washer, but cannot be used when close to a surface. We'll buy that as well. We got some cleaning nozzles. We got all kinds of good stuff in here. What else we got? Cleaning liquids, clothing. Should we get some clothing? $2,000. Wow, that sounds expensive. How about a black outfit? Let's get a black outfit. What should we get in gloves? Let's get the black gloves. $50. Okay, I think that's probably. Oh, we got a new power washer too. Should we get a new power washer? $250. Oh, we own it. Never mind. Medium duty. Ah, okay. I see. So, okay, we're stuck with what we got. All right, well, that's cool. All right, guys. Well, if there are no further questions or anything like that, I think we're done here. I think we will stop here and we'll pick this back up next week. So yeah, thanks for joining me. I think this was pretty good. I felt like we did all right. Talked about our games. I don't know what the heck we'll talk about next week. I don't want to spend the entire thing talking about our games. I might mention them and you know, say what went on that week or whatever, but I think I did a deep dive on all 5 of our games at the moment. So yeah, we'll just see. Whatever. Maybe there'll be some questions that need to be answered. If you guys have questions, put them in the comments below. I will get to them next week. All right, y'all. Well, we're done here, so we will stop here, and we'll pick this back up in the next episode. So I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Thanks a lot.